Hello and thank you for watching. This is Tea Time on Plus TV Africa. My name is Elsie Godwin and I'm here with Ifeoluwa and a guest co-anchor. Her name is Chika Nwaiwu. She's a vlogger and she loves to talk. So we would get to see her doing this talking on the show this morning. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
All right, so let's get right into it. The son of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex has been christened by the Archbishop of Canterbury in a private ceremony. A royal communications spokesman said the Duke and Duchess are overjoyed to share the happiness of the day and would like to thank everyone around the world for their ongoing support. They feel so fortunate to have enjoyed the special moment with family and arches God's parent. Okay, that's interesting. But then I saw that Prince Harry's mom was not there. And if this was in Nigeria, the conspiracy theory that would have started by now, mother-in-law. But nobody seems, I don't know, maybe...
Nobody seems to be bothered,
or talking about it. I don't know.
But I like the whole scenery. I like that there was a black woman there. That made me so happy. I saw a black woman in the royal family in England. That was nice. Then there was Kate Middleton. There was his brother, William. So I liked the whole picture. Everything was really nice. And it just looked so fabulous. And I feel like this is one royal family that is keeping us up to date. You know, usually royal families are so discreet about almost everything. But yeah, I feel like they're, and I mean, it's 2 months after the baby's birth.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a great thing.
I think this picture, like, maybe it covers one controversy, but it starts another. Because remember we were talking about the two brothers and their families being at war or whatever. So if anyone was not going to show up, hey, you know, you have been them. So the fact that they're in this picture together.
That was stemming from the NGO that was disputed.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm glad that, you know, at least they're not so bad that they can't take a picture together. But then it starts to rise with the mother-in-law. That what's up with you? Like, it's not something that you miss. I'm sure they've had like weeks and weeks to plan this.
And the excuse is just there. Like she has prior engagements. Really, your grandson, I don't know, but they'll be fine. They are the royal families, right?
I mean, it's the royal family.
Yeah. So up next for conversation, we don't honor our women, Elsie Walter. She made the statement via her Facebook post where she talked about how women have been blamed since the days of Adam and Eve, stating that the entire world came to be because of woman and may the land not reject us. Ifeoluwa, what do you think about her post?
Yeah,
in case you do not know, sorry to cut you, this is the woman that initially came out to accuse Pastor Biodun Fatoyibo. I think this was about 6-7 years ago.
2009.
So, I mean, it's made the news. It was a big deal, but nothing really happened. That was when Pastor Biodun Fatoyibo told us that he was going to give us a robust reply, that we should wait for it. So, the robust reply never came until now, until Busola Dakolo came out to speak. So, that is the background on Elsie Walters. And she's an author, of course, And I think Ifeoluwa said she's an actress, but I don't know. I don't see her as an actress, but I know she writes.
Yeah, because when I researched, I was the author that I saw. I like to emphasize on that because sometimes people post, and if you don't have any prestige to your name or education or whatever, then people like take for granted. But authors are very researched and are vast in knowledge. So if she's saying something, I hope that Nigerians will listen. Maybe they won't take it from me or from you or whatever. But obviously, she's 100% right. We have that blaming mentality. Now, this is something I know for a fact that's African. It's not worldwide. There's a lot of issues that we face as women globally, like injustice and all that stuff. But that blaming syndrome is very African. And I think we kind of have done that to ourselves over the years because our parents have probably taught our parents that, you know, a good woman is a woman that takes suffering. I've heard that countless times. Even with periods, like I just went through that and my son was hurting. My mom said to me, hey, woman, no. I'm like, so because I'm a woman, I'm not allowed to like show that I'm hurting.
Pain,
Even if I see it every month, it's still hurting. And I should be able to say that I'm hurting. I don't want to get used to pain, whatever type of pain it is, physical, emotional, or anything like that. It hit me when she said, that if the man cheats,
it's the woman's fault.
It's the woman's fault. You see, it's one thing to put the blame on something, like if the child does bad, but when you're now starting to remove yourself from the consequences of your own bad choices and put it on somebody else, it's like, okay, now we've gone really far. And obviously my adult life wasn't here, so I haven't really experienced that personally. Like people are putting blames on me. I don't have time for that. But I have seen it here that like it is true, and it makes no sense. Like how do you logically explain that kind of culture?
Well, I think everything she said is right. I'm a very strong feminist.
Yes,
so
girl. Finally,
I'm a very strong feminist, and I feel like every single day being a woman is a struggle. There's always something you're being blamed for. A man is cheating on you and they're asking you, what are you not doing right? A man is raping you and they're asking you, what were you wearing? What did you do? What did you say? You went to his house. Why were you there in the first place? There's always questioning the woman. There's nobody questioning the man.
Off the back of that, I saw a video on Instagram yesterday of a pastor preaching on the altar, saying when a woman says she was raped and then she tells you she went to the man's house, you don't need to take her serious. That was a pastor of a church.
And that's the mentality that a lot of men have, that they keep telling you the same things. They keep asking you, why were you there? What did you do? Everything that surrounds the woman. So a man cheats on you, and you say, oh, no, don't worry, it's fine. At least he's paying your children's bills. At least you should accept that. You should be thankful. But who is blaming the man? Where are the responsibilities? Why is everything shifting to the woman? You're taking blame for things that are not even your fault. It's even crazy.
Imagine the kind of character you'd be building for a man. Like, I just imagine, because sometimes men don't necessarily perpetuate this thing. They're born into that system.
True.
But imagine the kind of man you would be breathing. Just imagine your son has never taken responsibility
for anything.
First of all, imagine when they're kids and they realize already there's injustice, because if their house is dirty, that I dirtied, I don't have to clean it up. My sister is going to clean it up. My maid is going to clean it up. And then I go into adulthood and it's the same thing. And then I'm just thinking, imagine.
So much entitlement. There's so much entitlement on their part. Like, what do you take responsibility for?
I think this is also making me remember what Kitensha said when she came on the show on Plus Politics recently, and she was like, we need to start raising our boys differently. We've said it over and over again, but I love it when celebrities, people we look up to, come out to say these things. We already raised the girl child to be good, to be respectful,
to be good for marriage,
long-suffering, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, who is she going to get married to?
To the man that you're not even looking at. So you have
to pay attention to the boy child, pay attention to, I mean, let's not even say the man, the boy child, because you have to start from the root. You cannot, like you said the last time, you can't tell a 20-year-old man what to do. At that point, there's choices that he has to make based on the values that you've instilled in him, you know. So, anyways, well, Naira Marley seems to be in a new kind of trouble. Conversation on that will happen right after this break. We'll be right back.
You're watching Plus TV Africa, and this is Tea Time.
I loved the energy when I came in here. It was so positive. I was like, I can live here.
My real names are Akbofiofobo, Akborubomemere.
I think my father is a comedian, because most times when he calls me, he's like, yo, make sure you use condom, you know, them girls out there.
So are you telling me I should have shot my shots?
Ife, you have a younger brother. Age is nothing but a number. What? I'm a vampire. I believe in equal rights for women, and I also believe that a man is the head of the house, so we need to draw our limits somewhere. Feels so good. Now can I do my jam now?
Yeah, you can.
Welcome back. Dublin Gig, headlined by Naira Marley, was shut down after a gang of 30 young men flee from scene as man was arrested and weapons seized. For this one, I was totally confused when I saw the news, because in my head, I was thinking he wasn't supposed to travel. I'm sorry. I don't know. I know I did not see that information explicitly, but I felt like you have an ongoing case. It's supposed to be, let me not use the word common sense, but yeah. So how are you in Dublin to start with?
First of all, the law enforcement system in Nigeria, we all know it's not so great. No, we all know. We all know it's not so great. So if it's about that one, there's most possibility that he has traveled like 3 times since he came out of jail. So since he got out of jail, so it's a possibility. But I really don't understand. He's always in the news, and he's never in the news for great stuff. Like it's quite annoying. Like, okay, maybe one good, one bad, and usually celebrities, they know better.
The only time he's been in the news for good was was when he came out to sort of advocate for people in prison that were there and not gotten the right trial and all that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
even then we stretched
only
it because
time.
even the way he executed that message was very shady. Like, he was like, you people are the ones that put me there, or your boys come and pay me, in the same breath that you were advocating for people. Like, I was just like, this man, this is one of those people that I fear. Please don't come from me, because I know he has no boundaries. But it's one of those people that I fear having fame. The wrongest types of people, because fame already has so much power in terms of influence, and young people literally mocking and behaving like you. Now imagine if you put this kind of person in power, and which is already having.
I mean, he's already in a place of power because his Instagram page, last time I checked, was almost 1 million followers.
Yep.
So, I mean, you have 1 million people to influence. That is not a joke.
That's enough people.
Yes.
And most of them are within a certain
even if
age
you are
range.
influencing 200 people,
It's still
do you
scary.
know what
Now
it means for
imagine-
200 people to stand in front of you and they are listening to you and follow you? That is how I look at social media. So you come out and say, oh, I have just 100 followers. Babe, if you have an event, how many people do you think are coming for the event and you say it's a success? If 100 people come and sit down, you have people, which is why I say everybody, irrespective of you thinking you have 10 followers, 100 followers, 200 followers, you have influence and you need to use that influence right. And for someone like Naira Marley, I don't know what his problem is. And I think he's on the kind of on the receiving end this time around because the people disrupted his
we don't even know
event.
the basis of the story. Okay, so there's something happening in Dublin. He has a concert. He was about to perform. A group of 30, a gang violence that had guns, and they came in, they rushed, and the police was. So I don't really know the story. It's very, vague.
Yeah, it's still being investigated. Now we don't know what the connection is between these people that came with arms, arsenals, and Naira Marley. We don't know whatever it is, but we do know that you are associated to violence. We do know, like
they're associated with fraud.
Same thing I keep saying with this Koza.
I mean, apparently.
Well, it's something we keep saying with this Koza guy. Like, there's a lot of pastors, only you rate. There's a lot of artists. And only your own thing. If you're American, like, yeah, that's the culture. You, Nigerian boy, you happen to go to Dublin while you're supposed to be on probation, and it's your concerts that people are fighting outside. All the best.
I hope the story comes out and he actually clears the air. Like, I actually want him to get a break. I don't know why, but I mean,
EFCC needs to tell us what is going on too.
I would like to know that.
Anyways, up next, Stevie Wonder tells people at London concerts he would have a kidney transplant. The singer, songwriter, and musician told the crowd that he had a donor lined up and was making the announcements to avoid rumors spreading about his health. Okay, I for one, I think I'm very impressed with what he did because he's holding the narrative, directing the narrative. He doesn't want you people to come out tomorrow and they will tell you, oh, the kidney, we are still looking for it. The one he got now is not right and he's not moving very well again. I mean, we know what gossip bloggers can do. Paparazzi, that's what they call themselves, right? And they just spring out things from everywhere. But I'm glad that he's handling this well. Yeah. And I mean, it's not a joke, kidney transplant, but he's talking about it. I mean, he's been through so many struggles.
Yeah,
just being Stevie Wonder is not a joke. Just being him is not a joke. So I wish him well on this one. That's all I have to say. And I love what he's doing.
Yeah, I watched the concert. I watched that clip part where he just said, it's all good. The music was still going on. He was still on the piano. And he's just like, don't worry, I already got someone who's going to give me kidney. Don't worry, it's good. It's all good. It's all good. And everyone was like, I felt like, oh, okay, it's Stevie Wonder. He's one of our living legends. And I wouldn't want anything to happen to him. I mean, it's not easy. He's 69. It's a long term. Most of our living legends or most of our legends in the music industry never get to that age. Yeah, and being Stevie Wonder at that age, being here at this time, we actually don't want to go. Yeah, so, like, please, I just wish him like safe, everything safe. Yeah, I don't want him to.
I was reading a blogger. Obviously, when this blogger wasn't really in his favor, well, she didn't care. It's not like she was against it, but and I keep saying she. That's another thing I've noticed. I feel like bloggers are all she. This person's identity wasn't revealed, but this blogger was saying something about that. She really hopes that if he or she, blogger A, the person hopes, the blogger hopes, thank you. Yeah, cool. The blogger hopes that when he does get this thingy, it can actually work because he's had a history of drug abuse when he was in his limelight of like the younger times, and you know that with histories of people who smoke or have abused their systems as well. Even if you bring a good kidney
that's
into,
if his problem is not just the kidney.
Yeah.
Then maybe.
But if you think about it, if your kidney spoils, it's not because itself; it's the system that it's in is what's happening, or like an external factor. Either smoking.
It depends on what exactly.
It
depends on what exactly is wrong with the kidney.
Yeah.
If it's kidney stones, you just need to change the kidney.
Yeah,
that's all.
yeah. So we're just hoping that whatever the new kidney is coming into a good system is pretty much what she was saying.
I mean, this man is almost 70. We're calling him 69. He's 70. He has, even if he has smoked and did whatever, give him a break. Just wish him well and let him live his life.
Yeah,
what else? Like, do you want him to get to 200? He's lived the life already, so he's fine. I don't know why people just decide to have opinions where they don't even need to have an opinion.
It's
not necessary.
But yeah, I mean, from what you said also with the guys, the Disney stars' death, that has really shook people as well.
Yeah, like he was just 20.
Yeah. And you sleep and not wake up. Like,
how do you have a seizure?
But then he has a health issue that did not disclosed, but he's been battling it for a while. Yeah. But it's really sad, regardless, really sad.
I pretty much grew up in front of that.
Yes.
Watching that guy. So
yeah,
so
actually that struck a nerve. Like I used to see this guy on TV a lot as a child.
Yeah.
So yeah, actually hit difference.
Life. If he can, I mean, for his family, for his fans, for the whole world, he needs to fight for this, and we wish him all the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, like.
And it's time for another break. But when the show returns, we'll be discussing Simi's recent thoughts on Nigeria. We'll be right back.
You're watching Plus TV Africa, and this is Tea Time.
I loved the energy when I came in here. It was so positive. I was like, I can live here.
My real names are Ifeoluwa, Mere.
I think my father is a comedian because most times when he calls me, he's like, yo, make sure you use condom. You know, them girls out there.
So are you telling me I should have shot my shots?
Ife, you have a younger brother. Age is nothing but a number. Well, I'm a vampire.
I believe in equal rights for women, and I also believe that a man is the head of the house, so we need to draw our limits somewhere.
Feels so good. Now can I do my jam now?
Yeah, you can.
Thank you.
Hi and welcome back. The final story up for conversation is on Simi. She says she wishes the leaders would put Nigeria first. A part of the message she shared on her Instagram page read, I wish with all my heart the leaders would put Nigeria and the people first, not their greed nor their thirst for power. Just imagine actually making this country work and having your children grow up proud they were born to people that care enough to make a difference for everyone, not just for themselves. Imagine foreigners being desperate to come to Nigeria because it is incredible. End of quote. That's a lot of imagination, my dear.
At that point, you wake up. You know all those skits where you wake up like, oh, okay, oh, wow.
I mean, especially the last one, the foreigners. I mean, it's not like it's impossible, but I really need to give kudos to Simi. She's been speaking out
social issues
a whole lot, and thank you for doing that. I mean, it's important for people to know the power they have and use it for good, and I like what she's doing. And there is one part, she talked about how our youths are leaving the country also, and she wasn't even blaming them for leaving. She was saying, I mean, they leave because even when you try here, the system is not letting it work. You see people that are not doing well and then they leave the country and they are awesome, they are heading their departments, they are needed over there and they are treated right. I mean, the basis of all this is being able to be treated right and get what you deserve, right? Not just, I mean, I'm working and I can't pay my bills. It is extremely horrible, and shout out to Simi, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, it's great that she's using her platform for great things. She's been talking about a lot of social issues, internet fraud, and I really appreciate it. A lot of celebrities feel like they owe people something, so they don't want to talk so much.
Sorry to cut you. She deleted this post this morning, though. I don't know why, but I just felt like I needed to put that in. I don't know why she did
should
that.
We still go?
Yeah, we are going ahead.
Should we still say, well done, Simi?
Yeah, well done, Simi. I don't know. I mean, she has her reasons, but the message is almost everywhere, so.
Yeah, and I think she just cut across almost like everything. Healthcare, education, the youth leaving the countries, bloggers, and people talking about things that are bad in the country.
I know Ife talked about that a few days ago, where he talked about how we are always projecting the bad news. We are never talking about the good news.
We never
and this
talk
is
about
what our, I don't know if I just still want to say bloggers or even our media platforms, like they are interested when it is burning down. If you're doing anything good, nobody cares. Like they don't even want to report it. But if you go to these pages, all you see from morning till night is bad news. And sometimes for my own sanity, I don't even look. I just stay on my lane. You know, it's just sad.
I mean, I think the biggest part for me was at the bottom where she also started talking about us, because we cannot control the healthcare system and the politics and all of that stuff. But the ending paragraph, that we should still try as much, despite the fact that our environment and our conditions that we didn't ask for has put us in such a tight position, which needs to still be able to do right. Because a lot of these issues have forced people to do the wrong things, and it's like using fire to quench fire, like it doesn't work. So it was a good reminder that despite things are hard, just don't go into fraud. It's not helping the average Nigerian. I mean, the healthcare system, all of that stuff is on the top, but what are we doing to help like change Nigeria? And it starts with every single person. If it's that I hold my plastic in my house, in my car till I get home, I have solved one thing.
Yeah,
so
because we all come out and shout flood. Let's even start from there in Lagos State. But you see people that it's a culture to them that when it rains, they pack all their dustbin, everything, and throw it into the flood or the whatever they see in front of them, into the gutter. They claim the rainfall will flush it away.
Take it away.
Do you ask yourself where it is taking it to? I mean, see,
so we can start with that. We can start with a lot of like me stuff, like what can I do for myself? And I think we don't really talk about that as much, which is why I really comment on.
We're used to playing the blame game.
I even asked the beauty queen that was in activism stuff, and I asked her, I said, what, if someone is watching you and wants to start now, should just start. And a lot of like motivational speakers and activists do that a lot.
We've had beauty queens on this show that were very sound and spoke well. Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
I just wish people would give us like even more step-by-step ways that you can actually do something, not do something and get up and make a change, but like
do
we get that. Yeah, we'll do better, but like how? Like where can we start from?
It starts from you actually. It starts from standing on the queue when you go to a bank, like, or when you go to the airport. Anywhere there is a queue, stand on your queue. Like, I mean,
Nigerians are so used to a corrupt system that we ourselves are so corrupt. Like, we don't even understand the sanity of being normal. Just being, okay, I'm just a good citizen.
But once they leave the shores of this country, they're
they're great citizens. Are you
and once they get into that Ikeja, once they land, it's for me to just blow. And I mean,
like the system is bad, so like why not just mess it up again already? Like we're already part of the messed up system.
In our country, you can tell for sure.
I don't think we're beginning. I think we've lost hope.
We need to find that hope. We need to really find.
I mean, the Nigerian dream is living in Nigeria, so I mean, I feel like we already lost hope a long time ago.
All right, I'm still hopeful, regardless. even when I think that it's probably going to be 1 million years from now, but I'm still hopeful that Nigeria will get there. And on that note, that's exactly where we'll wrap up on this episode. We'll definitely see you this afternoon for fresh episodes. But then you can join the conversation on social media by using the hashtag #TeaTime or tweet at us at +TV Africa. Thank you, as always, goes to my co-anchors, Ife, Omai, and Chika Nwaiwu for doing this with us. Thank you. And the entire production team as well. My name is Elsie Godwin saying thank you for watching and do enjoy the rest of your day.